How much of a quirky thing is this for you, do you think, with this group?
I'm not thinking about it near as much as everybody else. You know, I watch them shoot them in practice, and we shoot them well in practice, and I just think at some point that all levels out. You know, I think we'll have a stretch in the season where we make 85% of our free throws. So, you know, it's strange given the amount of good shooters that we have, but I also think it's something that's going to correct itself.
How about, you know, speaking of that, you know, Mitch obviously coming back and, you know, playing well here going into conference play after kind of a weird shooting night for him. Does it help having a couple more games here before conference to kind of get him, you know, feeling like, yeah, when I do shoot it and let it go well, it's still going to go in?
Yeah, that's another thing I don't worry about very much is Mitch's shooting. You know, it's just as rare for someone to go 12 of 17 as it is for someone to go 0 for 9. And the reality of it, there's a much better chance, having watched Mitch Ballock every day for a couple of years, that he's going to go 12 for 17 than 0 for 9. It happens, and it happens to every great shooter on the planet. It's certainly going to happen to him, but I don't spend much time laying awake worrying about his shooting.
What are you worried about right now? Obviously, one more before conference play. What are you thinking about? What are you addressing with the team mostly at this point?
You know, my concern right now is we've never had this short of prep coming off Christmas break. We just felt we needed to play the game on the 27th instead of the 28th to give ourselves a little bit more time before we had to go on the road to open Big East play. So it's the first time we've done anything like this. Usually I like to have 3 or 4 practices before we bring him back from the Christmas break. We only had 2, and one of them being on Christmas night. So that part concerns me. And UMKC played really well in their last game. They made 16 threes and scored 90-some points. So, you know, that has our attention. But, you know, we have to keep moving. We have to be a work in progress and move in the right direction on the defensive end of the floor. And you know, there's been improvements from early in the season, but still not where I'd like it to be.
You mentioned after the last game in the press conference how much inexperience leads to thinking and how much thinking can affect that side of the ball. With Connor, is he a guy that has an ability because of his experience at this level that he can be a guy that's more impactful on that end of the floor for you?
Yeah, he could have. Having said that, though, some of our terminology, some of our rules are totally different than what he was accustomed to at Rice. So he's really learning our system defensively for the first time as well. So, you know, if we have different rotations out of ball screens or you know, our post double team coverage is probably different than what they used at Rice, so everything is a little bit different. You're still thinking, and you know, we need his experience. There's no question. He and Caleb are going to have to be rocks for us here moving forward, simply because we have a lot of other young guys on the floor, and those guys have experience.
When you look at the league so far, you know, at this point, obviously they're kind of in a different place overall as a group than maybe early in the year where it was maybe disappointing. What have you seen out of this league, and you know, how unpredictable it can be, especially this year?
I mean, I think if you take away the week of the GABA games, it's been pretty good. I think if you would get rid of that, I think the rest of what's taken place during league play has been pretty good. You know, Villanova's obviously improved after a couple early nicks that they got. You know, Seton Hall's playing great basketball right now. Providence has had some good wins. You know, I think Marquette is probably what everybody thought they were going to be. It's a very good basketball team. Butler, you know, Indiana throws in a 30-footer on them to beat them on the buzzer. Otherwise, they've been really, really good. So, and, you know, a team like DePaul is better. Georgetown's better. So some of the teams on the bottom last year are better than they were a year ago. And I think, you know, there's been some surprises as well. So, you know, I don't watch a lot of league play during the non-conference portion of our schedule because you're caught up in what you have to do. But obviously, we'll turn our attention to Providence here in 36 hours.
Guys, just focusing on one more, you know, fine-tuning before conference play here. What's the approach and the mentality, I guess, for you guys going into this one?
Yeah, like you said, we're just trying to fine-tune the little things that we're struggling on. On the defensive end, we're trying to figure that out and just put the pieces together so we can come together on both ends of the floor. And obviously, yesterday we did a little different thing, trying to make some free throws, so hopefully our percentage will go up in games, and just we'll figure that out when we need to. But this one more fine-tune up before we start conference play, and I think this is a good one for us, and just lock in and figure out what we need to do.
Yeah, I mean, how weird is that? Because you guys are obviously confident shooting the ball from everywhere, it seems like, except uncontested from 50. I mean, sometimes you go through situations like that as a player and as a team now. How odd is that, and how unexpected, I guess, for you guys as a group?
Yeah, I think everybody. I mean, the percentages aren't very good from there, and I think it's in the back of everybody's minds. I mean, we're all capable free throw shooters, and you just have to step up and knock them down. I mean, just leave everything else, don't think about it, and just release it and just let it fly. Honestly, from the free throw line, like the same we do from everywhere else on the floor.
What, when you look at the non-conference season, where you guys are at as a group right now, are you about where you expected to be? I mean, what have you learned about yourselves? What are you maybe surprising yourselves about as a group? What have you learned so far through these, first dozen or so games?
I think we'd rather be in a better position than what we are. I mean, obviously we dropped a few that we thought we could win, and with that being said, I think it just makes us more hungry going in. Obviously we got a little break over Christmas, go home, see our families, and regroup, and just come back with that mindset going into conference play. And it's different from last year because our first game's non-conference game instead of just jumping right into conference. So fine-tuning, like you said, and just figure out those little things that we need to do before UMKC, and then hopefully we can put it together on the floor tomorrow night, and then the 31st we can just pick the ball up rolling into the Big East play.
What have you seen out of the Big East? Have you followed, obviously the conference so far, what they've done? Because I think it, for a lot of fans and obviously for me from the outside, it seems like it's just kind of an open year. A lot of unexpected, things can happen with this conference this season.
Right. Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we all struggled. We all started out a little slow, and then we started picking it up when we got into our tournaments and everything. I think a few 4 or 5 teams won their tournaments in the beginning of the year. So just watching that, everybody's, new teams, new people, new kids, and everybody replacing each other. And I think it's just going to, like the bumps in the road earlier, I think that was expected. And now it seems that everybody's gotten together. And like you said, I think it's going to be very open this year. And it's just honestly up to who wants it. And at the end of the day, who wins on the road is going to be the team that wins the conference. And I think if we can steal a couple games that maybe people don't think we can win, I think we'll be in a good spot when we come down late February.